welcome to the channel, Jane Reads. My name is Jeanette, and today is Monday, and I am starting my new series called Weekly Wednesday, which is basically a recap of the week before. So you will see this the next Wednesday. Today is Monday, September the 29th. It was my first day back to work after vacation, and now I'm home from work, and it is a beautiful day, so I thought it is perfect to sit on the deck and read my book. So I am reading Anne of Ingleside. There was somebody at our neighbor's house, and I'm like, our neighbors are away for vacation, but it's their daughter. I was like, wait, what? So I am reading Anne of Ingleside by Montgomery. This is book number 6 in the Anne of Green Gables series. I'm reading this as the Year Up mod, and I am on page 138. And honestly, when I started it Saturday, I really didn't want to read it. But now I've gotten further into it and I'm more invested and liking what's going on. I also started the Lawman Returns by Lynette Eason on audio this morning. It is a love-inspired suspense book. It is book 1 of the Wrangler's Corners. It is a reread for me, but I got book 2 on my October TBR, and I read book 1 ages ago, and I have no notes written on it. I didn't do a review back then, so I decided let's just start at the beginning of the series again. And really, I'm only, I don't know, 10-15% in. I'm not very far into it. So right now, a lady has taken custody of a brother and sister because they were found abandoned somewhere, hiding somewhere. I don't know exactly. They've reconnected with a cop that she went to school with, and I'll see what's going on. Okay, it is now 10 after 11, and I am headed to bed. I have made progress in my book. I'm on chapter 24, page 235. It's 370. I'm really hoping to finish this tomorrow, like before the end of September. I don't know if I will make it because that's still quite a bit. 140 pages. I will read a little bit in bed before going to sleep, but I don't think I'll last very long. So maybe a chapter or two, but depending. I mean, they're not long chapters, so maybe 2. We'll see. I don't know. I'm up and down with this book right now. I think part of it is I didn't really want to start it. I don't know. I think I'm getting tired of the Anne series. Because I've been reading this whole series this year, right? And I mean, we've taken a break over the summer for the Anne books, and now we've just returned to it for September's book club book pick. But I don't know. Like, I don't care about the kids so much. And now, like, Anne is married with the kids and stuff. And I do want to say, though, we are seeing more of Gilbert, or hearing more about Gilbert in this book than we have previously in some of the other books. So I do like that. We're getting to know a little bit more about their relationship, but it's really following the kids. And I just don't care as much about the kids as I did connect with Anne. We're really getting to know Susan and Susan's opinion and thoughts about things in this book, who is kind of the housekeeper that helps Anne with the kids. I don't know what her official role is, but yeah. And the Lawman Returns by Lynette Eason. I have not listened to anything of that tonight because I've been focusing on this. I will pick that up again in the morning. And I was really thrown off about somebody being outside next door when I was not expecting anybody because they're away. But so the Lawman Returns, we're following, I think she's a social worker. I can't even think of her name off the top of my head. But she's a social worker, gets called by one of the kids, ends up at a house, and a wallet is found of a friend that was killed, who I think was a police detective. He was with the police force for sure. Now his brother is also with the police, and his brother has returned to town. And so they kind of start digging into this. But as I said, I'm still very early on, so I don't really know, will they work together, because the female is really looking after the kids that they took in at this house. And so we'll see. But yeah, that's it for now. I am going to bed. Okay, I haven't gone to bed yet, but I just realized I'm on chapter 29. Stupid Roman numerals. I read it as 24 and it's 29. So I was just loading it up on my Kindle and I was like, wait, that's not the chapter I'm on. Okay, now I'm going to bed. Another day of work done. Okay, it is another beautiful day after work, so I'm going to sit down with my book. I did get more read before bed last night. I am now on chapter 32, 3 X's and 2 I's. That is 32 in Roman numerals, which is page 264 out of 370. So I have 106 pages left to go. Can I do it tonight? Will I finish this? I don't know. So I'm going to sit down for a read for a while, then work on making supper, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Come back from holidays and work gives me a new coat. How can you go wrong?
It's pretty nice, other than it's a little bit big, I think.
I'll grow into it. Not the way I want to, though.
So sloppy joes and tater tots. I am normally a black coffee drinker, but I absolutely love this pumpkin spice. And I have pumpkin spice coffee, so it just felt perfect. Coffee and my book. I did it. It is now 11:15-ish. 20 after 11, and I finished. I did talk to my mom on the phone for probably about an hour and a half or so, so then I was really debating if I would get it done or not, but I did. And I happened to see that Chantel is doing the book club for this book tomorrow night, so I really needed to get it done. So now I can join in that tomorrow evening. So while I enjoyed parts of it, I also found parts of it to drag a bit for me because I just didn't care so much. But there were some entertaining stories with the kids, and even there was a part with Anne and Gilbert near the end that kind of had me a little concerned, but yet I know things are okay based on, knowing the story of them. But everything works out fine. So yes, I am finished, and I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5 star. 3, 4 stars, somewhere in there. I don't know. I will decide when I film my wrap up. But that is this book done. So that means I have finished 9 books in September. Honestly, I don't know. I should grab my reading journal and let me look. Because my journal is actually updated without this book, obviously, because I just finished. Yes. So I'd read 8, so now this is number 9. And this one can go on my series September board. But where's it gonna go? Moody and dark? No. Blue tones? No. Light academia vibes? Probably not. Cozy vibes? Probably is where it will go because Anne is a cozy read. I'm thinking that's where it's going to go. Because I've already used up all the other ones. Because even though I read 9 books, they weren't all series, so they all can't go on this board. So if I read series books, I could have blacked out the board, but I did not read all series books. Oh well. Okay, so that is the wrap up for tonight. I will check back in tomorrow, Wednesday. Well, it is Wednesday after work now, and I have some updates. So at work today, I finished listening to the audiobook of The Lawman Returns by Lynette Eason, which is book 1 of the Wrangler's Corners series. And I had read this one before, so this was a reread for me, but I didn't really remember it. I read it a number of years ago. And I enjoyed the characters, but I felt like the romance relationship developed way too quickly, as per what usually happens in love-inspired suspense books. Because it's only 224 pages. I think it was a 5-hour audiobook at 1 speed. I did not listen to it at 1 speed. I'm at 1.9 usually when I'm listening, depending what I'm doing and stuff. But today it was working on the start of bulletin stuff for the week and just kind of making graphics, different things like that. So that was an easy listen. It was filled with suspense and action and what was going to happen next. The villain reveal, like the final villain, because you know that somebody is working for somebody else, but who is that boss? That was like, I'm like, oh, I think it's gonna be, and I was right, but I don't know if I guessed right because in the back of my mind I already knew, or the hints were given that I guessed right. I don't know. I'm gonna give it 3 stars again. It was enjoyable. I liked the characters, but now we have met a brother of the main character. So the main character in this one was Colt, and his brother Seth is home with a broken leg from the rodeo. And I'm pretty sure Seth is the main character of Rodeo Rescuer, which is book 2 of this series, which is the one that is officially on my October TBR. So I'm really intrigued because there was a couple of hints given. So I'm really glad I refreshed myself with the series and the family, because I know that book 2 has him and somebody that he's possibly interested in, but he's dealing with a broken leg in book 1. So what happens? I'm really interested. So I will be picking up that next. However, I decided to start the audiobook of False Witness by Randy Singer once I finished that one. And I was so confused at the beginning. I was like, am I reading the right book? Am I listening to the right book? And on the back, it talks about like the first line talks about 3 ambitious law students at a local legal aid clinic. And okay, they're helping somebody who's in witness protection program, or they get involved with somebody who's in witness protection. And then it starts out, and I'm 50 pages in. Yes, exactly 50 pages in to it. And we're following a bounty hunter. And then his wife has been taken captive, has been kidnapped, and somebody is blackmailing the bounty hunter to do some stuff for him. And I was like, there's no law students, there's no law case involved with this. Like, what's going on? But then I'm like, okay, well, maybe, but I'm not really sure. So then I came home and grabbed the book. I started looking at it and be like, okay, is this the same book? Okay, the character's name's the same. Okay. And then as I'm flipping through, so the book has a number of parts in it. I don't know what the actual parts is. But when I'm flipping through it, now I can't find it. Part 2 says the law students. Oh. So we don't meet the law students till part 2, which is page 116. So I'm like, okay, so maybe this bounty hunter guy, what happens with him? Does he become the guy that ends up in witness protection? Or what? I don't know. I'm like, and according to my notes in it, I've read this book before 2015. Again, I do not remember it all. It's like I'm reading it for the very first time. So we'll keep going and see. But now I'm starting a physical read. So I'm just going to listen to this on audio. I don't think I'm going to physically read it. We'll see what happens. Because the other weird thing about this is in here, there is 90 chapters. Like it says chapter 90. My audiobook says 8 chapters. They're a long 8 chapters. So it's like not even divided into the parts, not even, I'm just like, I'm so confused. So kind of switching between physical and audio would be hard because the chapters don't match up. According to, I'm on chapter 14 based on the book because I did find out where I was to find out like, okay, is this really the same book? So I listened to try to find out where I was. So I'm on chapter 14, but in my audiobook, I'm on chapter 2. Okay, so I don't know. So for physical read, I am so excited to be starting Between the Sound and Sea by Amanda Cox. So this is the good book that I'm going to be starting after supper today. I cannot wait. This is probably my most anticipated read for October. It is definitely my most anticipated read for October. And will this beat my love for The Edge of Belonging or The Secrets of Old Depot Grocery? So I have read 3 books by Amanda Cox so far. The first one being The Secrets of Old Depot Grocery. Then I read He Should Have Told the Bees. And then I read The Edge of Belonging. And really, He Should Have Told the Bees was okay. But the other 2 I've absolutely loved. And I could like still tell you what they're about, who the characters were. Maybe not by name, but like what their roles were and stuff. And they have stuck with me. And I'm hoping this will become one of those books as well. And I've talked about this a bit in my TBR game and in the Christie Award finalist video. So I'm not going to tell you again what it's about. Because if you've been watching my videos, maybe I should tell you. I'll give you a little summary. I'm not reading the back again because I've already done that a couple times. But basically we're following Josephine, who goes by the nickname of Joey, who decides to take a break, I guess, and becomes a temporary keeper of a decommissioned lighthouse on a North Carolina island. While she's at the lighthouse, she comes across some notes that are tucked into the crevices of the lighthouse stone walls. Their pages torn from a keeper's log recounting rescues at sea. And so she's digging into kind of their story. And from what I understand, she meets somebody along this journey and a friendship develops of some sort. I don't know. As I said, I haven't read the book yet, so I have no idea. But I've heard really good things about this and I'm ready to dive in. So that is going to be what I'm starting tonight. For now, we are going to, Andrew went out to go grab supper because he decided I'm not cooking tonight. So he went to go pick up supper, and then that's pretty much our evening, I think. Oh, I am going to be doing the live with Chantel live discussion for Anne of Ingleside because I finished the book last night. And I also need to update my reading journal now that I've finished 2 books since I last updated it. So I should do that too. So maybe I'll work on that while he's gone. And then we'll have supper, and then I can dive into reading. Reflection on my glasses is a big issue in my world. I thought I would film upstairs today because Andrew is off at a dentist appointment, so I figure I've got the house to myself. I can film upstairs where natural lighting is. But I'm like, where do I sit that it doesn't reflect too bad? Oh well. So it is now Thursday after work and I am getting ready to film my September wrap up. So I'm gonna do that and then I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna have leftover sloppy joes for supper. So I do have to get the tater tots in the oven at some point, but that is a little bit yet. And then I will probably read. Oh no, I do want to put some books on my bookshelf. I do want to do that tonight because they're kind of piled right now. And I've got the haul filmed, I've got it edited, it's ready to go up, but it probably won't be up by the time this video is up, but it will be coming very shortly after. And now that they're all recorded and it's all filmed, they can go on my shelves and I've got to figure out the room. So that's kind of what I want to do tonight for sure. But I also want to get the the end of the month wrap up that I'm going to film next. I want to get that edited as well tonight. So we will see what happens. Okay, let's go film. Okay, I have a story to share. So I set up in the living room to film because Andrew's off at a dentist appointment. And I was like, okay, I can open our side windows and I don't have to worry about our neighbor coming out of their garage because they're away. And because other times I've set up in front of the window and he's come out and I'm like, So I was like, okay, we're good. So I start filming. And all of a sudden I see this person walking across our lawn and then come up to the side of our house. And I was like, what in the world? And of course they're standing like right outside the window. Where am I filming? It turned out to be the meter reader. So they came to look at our gas meter and walk away. But I was like, I am just not meant to film in the living room. Why is somebody walking at our house? What in the... Okay, I got my wrap-up video edited, and now I'm gonna put my book haul books on my shelves. So first, I didn't even grab them. The books that I have read that need to go on the red portion of my shelves. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off my display books, which you can't even see. That one. Down, that one, and these two, which you can barely see. I'm gonna take them off, put them in the alphabetical order where they belong, along with the one for September that would normally go on my display. And then I'm gonna try to fit these in, and then we'll see if I have room for my display or not. My plan is to move that so that, I've got quite a bit of room there. So probably all those books will fit like in that spot, but not that spot because they're not in the B's. Really, that's the only display spot that I have right now, really, other than these forward-facing ones. But if I can keep the forward-facing ones, that would be perfect. I'm debating about moving my John Grishams to another section because I might need that shelf, which you can't even see at the moment. But I will show you if I need it. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. In the mood to unhaul, probably because I've hauled so many. So I'm thinking I'm gonna unhaul this series because I gave each book, that's 3 stars. Book 2 was 4 stars and book 1 was 3 stars. So I only enjoyed book 2. I'm not gonna reread it. Yeah, I think I'm going to unhaul this series. So that's 3 books. I don't want to unhaul the Drew Farthington until I read them all. And where did I'm tempted. Where did I give this one? Such a pretty cover though. I'm thinking of unhauling this one. I gave it 3 stars when I read it. So this is how, okay. How do I know this? Off the top of my head? It's not off the top of my head. So I put little sticky notes in the front of them. So this one says, I purchased it November of 2024. I read it in December of 2024 and I gave it 3 stars. And then I usually write a little bit of something, not always. This one it just says heavy, dense read with graphic details. I only connected with 1 character. And I don't normally keep 3-star reads, so it's very rare that I do. unless it's part of a series. And this obviously is not part of a series. So I'm not going to reread it. I want to keep that until I like those. I'm not unhauling any of my black sock for sure. I gotta read more of that series. I gotta read more of that series. Gotta read more of that series. I'm not unhauling Cox. I'm debating about this book. I don't know. It's gonna stay on my shelves for now. I know, I didn't even tell you what book that was. Delamere, Eason, Fisher, I'm gonna keep. Ford, I'm definitely keeping. Definitely keeping. Irene Hannon. Definitely. I want to complete that series. Henderson, I'm keeping till I finish reading them. I only have these two left to reread. So, pretty close. I probably could unhaul this one, but for now I'm keeping them. Oh, did I say I was unhauling this one and I put it back on my shelf? I feel like I said in the last video I was unhauling this one in my TBR game. Because it was also a 3-star. Okay, passing it on. McDaniel, I'm keeping. Diane Mills was a 4-star read, so that can stay for now. Keeping. I like Danny Petrie, Michelle Shockley. So this is an exception. So this is another book I gave 3 stars to. But it's the book that made me go visit the Parthenon in Nashville because of this book. And it's the only Michelle Shockley book I own on my shelves currently, like that I've read. I've only read 2, but I don't own my favorite, All We Thought We Knew. So I'm keeping this one for now, and we'll see what happens, because I really want to read more of her. I'm working my way through his books. Sarah Sundin, I'm definitely keeping. Jan Triano, I need to finish that series. Carrie Taransky, I'm definitely keeping. I'm debating about that series. Becky Wade, I'm definitely keeping. Karen Whitmire, I'm definitely keeping. Robert Whitlow, I'm definitely keeping. Okay, well that emptied a few. Now, didn't make a ton of room. I mean, I took off 5 books. Along with 2 I'd already taken off my shelves prior to September, and 2 that I've taken off that I'm not putting on my shelves that I read in September. So that's 9 books to unhaul. That's pretty good. My cheap bookends. Okay, which book is going on the end? They're alphabetical, obviously, because that's the way my brain works. My cheap bookends are a piece of paper, but it's awesome. It works great, and it's inexpensive to replace if it gets broken, ripped, anything, and they work wonderful. Which means I still have room for my display books. So, take my cheap bookend, put the book in, and then take the next few books, perfect. Now I need to find room on these shelves for the unread books. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I got them all on the shelf. My shelf's looking a little crowded, eh? Don't look too closely because that will ruin some of the book haul for you. But let's just say I need to read some books, especially mystery suspense, because they're kind of there and here. But now I'm going to alphabetize them because that will bug me if they're not. And then I'm going to sit down and read for the night. And I didn't even tell you what I was reading. What am I reading? Oh, what am I reading? Maybe I'll move you so you're not tempted to look. That didn't really move you very much, did it? There we go. Oh, I gotta put my display books back because I left room for them. I am reading Between the Sound and Sea by Amanda Cox with Jess from Pages & Co. At this point in time, I'm at chapter 7. She is getting there, and I promised not to read too much further so that we could chat because I want to chat. And so I am going to pick up another book to read. Thinking maybe because I just finished my things, maybe I should just dive into Rainbow Valley because physically the only other book I have is When Tides Turn by Sarah Sundin. And this is one that I'm definitely going to want to binge for sure. So I don't want to put it down to return to Between the Sound and Sea. So yeah, maybe I'll do Rainbow Valley. And then it's not, other than there being parts from historical in Between the Sound, not a ton. So it's not like a cross genre at all. Yeah. Because this one is going to be one that should be easy to put down and pick up and put down and pick up as... So, yeah. Because my audiobook is False Witness. But as I said yesterday, I'm not going to try to read this with the audio because trying to find out where I am is going to be a challenge. I did not get much read today. I got a little bit, or listened to, apparently. I got a little bit this morning as I got ready for work and a little bit at work, but not a ton. There was a lot of people around today for being me the only one officially in the office. There was a lot of people in the building, but that is fine. And I needed to concentrate to work on some of the stuff I was doing, so I couldn't listen to an audiobook anyways. So yeah, we're still with the bounty hunter and what is going on. But we've met the professor with the algorithm. So I think one of them is going to be the one in witness protection, but I don't really know. I don't remember at all. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to sign off for the evening. It's Friday, and I have fought with MailChimp today. I won in the end, but that's it. I'm going home for the day. For the weekend, actually. Yay! Another week of work done. Let's go home. And look, the sun's shining. I think it might be a deck afternoon for a little bit. I came outside to read, and we've got a plant from our neighbors coming through our fence. And it's a pretty plant, though. It is another absolutely beautiful day. This is not normal for the end of September, beginning of October weather for us, but I'm not complaining. I will take advantage of that. So I'm going to sit out here for a while and read Rainbow Valley by Montgomery. I did not start this last night because I decided to start editing this video. So I worked on that, watched a bit of YouTube, read another chapter in between the Sound and Sea, and then went to bed. And now it is Friday afternoon. Yay! A day off, 2 days off. So I'm going to work on reading this while Andrew is at a haircut appointment, and then he decided he wants to cut the lawn. And then we will go grocery shopping. So Okay, that's what we'll do. It is now 10 after 9 on a Friday evening. And Andrew cut the grass when he came home from his haircut. Then we had supper. In between, I did get some reading done. I got a whole 18 pages read in here. Not a ton, because while he was cutting the grass, I decided to lie down for a bit because I was struggling to keep my eyes open for that little bit. So, yeah. I'm right now, I'm 2 chapters in. Like, I've read 2 chapters, so I can't really tell you a whole lot about it, other than I'm sitting on the deck reading a book with snow on the cover. Really? But right now, Miss Cordelia and Anne and Susan are sitting on the veranda talking, and kind of Miss Cordelia and Susan is catching up and on kind of what has happened in Glen St. Mary since while Anne was away for 3 months with Gilbert. So it's just kind of a brief recap of what's going on. And that's about it. That's all I have to really share for this one. Then we had supper and we went grocery shopping. And normally grocery shopping on a Friday evening is pretty safe. That's our normal routine when we go. A lot of times it's just Andrew that goes by himself. But we both went tonight, and which is fine. I don't mind grocery shopping, but tonight it put me in a bad mood. And it wasn't so much the people in the store, it was the employees in the store. And the way they were doing it, we went to one store and they're stocking, like you can tell they just had a truck come. So they brought out pallets of food and they've put them kind of at the ends of the aisles or in the middle of the freezers that are in the middle of the aisle or something, right? And so like the pallets are all over the place and you can't get around. And then with people, you can't push a cart around to get, like, it's just, the employees have made it difficult to shop. And it was just really annoying. And yeah, I was grouchy. So came home, put the groceries away. I watched a bit of YouTube for a while. And did I even read at that point? No, I didn't. Until then I got a message from Jazz at Pages and Grace. I realized I changed her channel name yesterday. Telling me where she was on our buddy read. And I'm like, well, I need to get caught up to her. I wasn't that far behind. I was a couple chapters behind. And so now we've just starting chapter 12. We've already chatted about like kind of leading up to this point and have already agreed to do more reading tonight. So I'm excited because I forced myself to read this because I really wanted to read this. But yeah, and I have so many questions, which is a good thing because she really kind of intrigued me and I'm like, I gotta keep reading to find out what's going on. And I have laughed so many times so far. So a couple of the lines, one is, don't hold your breath, you'll suffocate waiting. I cracked up at that. Or another one was about a living accommodation. And the one said, please don't tell me I'm standing in it. And what was the other one? Oh, the other one is somebody had taken a fall and he says he didn't black out. The wife says that he blacked out and he said, no, you've been working me too hard. I just need to take a nap for a couple minutes. It has just made me laugh. I enjoy books that make me laugh and have more. And at this point of time, a journal has been found, but it hasn't been read yet because they couldn't read it where they were. And so I'm hoping maybe the next chapter will tell us what's at least on that one page so far. I want a little bit, just a little bit, right? So we will see. Today at work, other than my frustration with MailChimp, and the bulletin taking me much longer than it normally takes me, I did listen to more of False Witness by Randy Singer, which I did not bring the book up. And now I'm starting part 3, and things are starting to come together and make sense. I understand why we got the bounty hunter story in part 1. And then I know who they are in part 2 and kind of following. So things are starting to come together. And because I didn't grab the physical copy to look at it, I don't know if part 3 is the last part or if there are 4 parts. I don't know. I guess I will keep listening to find out. But I am not listening. Tonight, I am going to read this. It is 1:30 on a Saturday afternoon, and there is a certain chair outside that's calling my name and saying, "Come sit on me, enjoy this beautiful weather." So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read for a while on the deck. But this morning, I previewed my September wrap-up video that I had edited the other day. I got the thumbnail created, got the description box done, got it now scheduled to go up tomorrow. I created a thumbnail for another video that will be going up after this one, which leads me to think I really should do work on the thumbnail for this video, but haven't even thought about that one yet. Then I wrote a few book reviews, which needed to be done because I was a bit behind. I'm still behind. I'm completely caught up in August now, at least. So I have all of September's to do and the one for October. So that means I have 10 reviews to write yet. Yeah, I'll work on that when I come back inside. Then, what else have I done today? I watched some YouTube this morning before getting up. Then I kind of got ready for the day. I cheated and just put my hair up because I didn't feel like actually blow drying and straightening it. We made lunch. We had French bread pizza for lunch, but we don't do it on French bread. We do it on mini baguettes. It's really good. And then we watched a show, and now we finished that show. We were watching Good Ship Murder, I think is what it's called. It's on BritBox. But now this season we were watching is finished, so now we got to figure out what show we're going to watch next. But that's a later problem as well. But right now I'm going to go outside and enjoy the sunshine with Between the Sound and Sea by Amanda Cox. So Jess and I were talking last night, and we're both like just invested and want to keep reading. So I'm going to keep reading and hope I don't get too far ahead of her. We'll see what happens. But this is like unseasonably warm weather. They were even talking on the TV, like on the Weather Channel, or maybe it was the local news channel Andrew was watching. I don't know. They're talking about it being unseasonably warm, and I'm okay with that. Ready for church. It is now Sunday afternoon. I did not check in after going out to the deck yesterday. Basically, I read for a bit on the deck. I came back inside. I laid down for a little while because my eyes were heavy. And then when I woke up, the nap did not do me any good. I felt tireder. More tired? Tireder doesn't sound like a right word. I felt more tired and just kind of grouchy, but I did do a couple freezer meals. We didn't get a ton of meat when we were grocery shopping because it just wasn't a productive grocery haul. And so I did a couple freezer meals, then pretty much nothing last night. Watched a bit of YouTube. I did some reading. So for my reading, I made progress in Rainbow Valley by Ellen Montgomery. I am now chapter 6. Wow, this is reading slow. I am on page 52. We have now met the Manse children, as they're kind of referred to, so the children of the preacher. And they are known as little kind of troublemakers because they're not disciplined. The preacher's wife had passed away, the kid's mother, and their elderly aunt lives with them, but she has an eyesight issue. And so they're just not really, and the father is very focused on his on his studies, on preaching and stuff. So they have made friends with the Blythe kids, but they have spent, I think, one afternoon together, one, maybe two, like barely together right now. Because as I said, I'm still fairly early in the book. But it seems like there could be some entertaining stories in this one. And then I did make a bit more progress in Between the Sound and Sea. I am reading this one slowly because I'm buddy reading. If I wasn't buddy reading, this one would already be done. But I'm really enjoying chatting with Jess about it. We're both really kind of intrigued and have thoughts and opinions of what's going to happen next. And it's still entertaining me. So yeah, I will continue reading this. Right now, I am on chapter 20. Yes, chapter 20, page 137. And I'm really liking these characters. And then, I did work on editing this video a bit last night. And when I was working on it, I was working on the part with the bookshelf reorganization and stuff. And I was like, oh, wait, I comes after H, not before H. My Robert Whitlow and my Karen Whittemire sections were backwards. I had Whittemire before Whitlow, and really, Whitlow should come first. So how long have my shelves been like that? Because those were not books that I added. I think they've been like that for quite a while. So I fixed that. I will show you in a minute. So I've corrected that mistake. That's just as bad as my Blackstock. I had Smokescreen before Predator, when Predator should have been before it. Just like, wow, really? Okay, so I am going to wrap up the vlog here. But before I do, I am going to show you what books I did decide to unhaul so that I've kind of mentioned them, because I just kind of very briefly showed, but I never really said the titles of the author, like what books exactly they were. So I'm going to do that first. So here's the stack. Okay, so we have the Capital Intrigue series by Rachel Dillon. So I'm starting, book 3 is what I have on top. So Power Play, Backlash is book 2, and book 1 is Endgame. Then The Warsaw Sisters by Amanda Barrett, Just Once by Karen Kingsbury, Meddling with Mistletoe by Liz Johnson, Yours is the Night by Amanda Dykes, Because You're Mine by Colleen Coble, and Bridge of Gold by Kimberly Woodhouse. Now, I am not getting rid of these because they were bad. I just didn't enjoy them as much as I hoped to enjoy them, and I'm not going to reread them. So I am going to pass them on to somebody else. So all these books are going to get donated to my church library, and I'm sure somebody there will enjoy them. And basically it is Sunday afternoon now, after we've come home from church, had lunch. I am just having an afternoon coffee in one of my favorite mugs, my Mickey mug. And I'm going to close out the vlog here because my video editing software is due for renewal. Like, my subscription is up for renewal. And I want to get this video completely edited and exported before I do that renewal, just in case something happens and I don't want to have to re-edit. So I'm going to end here, and then I will start next week's vlog this afternoon with, like, I guess maybe this evening kind of thing. And you'll see the rest of today in next week's vlog. I want to thank you. Oh, wait, before I close out, I was going to show you my Whitlow and Whittemire sections. I'm like, who was the other author? Okay, so here is my W section. So now I have Jimmy by Robert Whitlow, and then these were in this order. So that's the even more funnier part, is these were in this order. Then I had Jimmy over here. But Karen Whittemire was over here, like these two sections. So, like, my Robert Whitlow books weren't even alphabetical either. Like, really? So now it's been fixed somewhat. I'm noticing the trial and trial, but because these are paperback and this is a hardcover and this is a tall paperback, I'm okay with them being like that. Okay, anyways. Then we've got Whittemire. So we've got the Hanger's Horseman series, Patchwork Family series. I only have book 2. Then the Texas Ever After series, and then the standalone To Win Her Heart. Now I'm going to sign off on this vlog. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you will subscribe and come back for more videos. Have a great day. Bye.